Hello, sexy people out there. Welcome back to Sexy in Toronto City. I'm so happy that you're here. I am really, truly grateful for all the messages that I have been receiving on my DMs, on my direct phones, that people that know me directly. Your feedback is very important, and I love all of you. And today, as a special for this February month, I brought for you another special guest. It is Quentin, and I have here Quentin for you. Quentin, welcome to Sexy in Toronto City.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for the awesome opening. I'm honored to be here. Very excited to talk to you. You have an awesome show. You have so many interesting people on. I was listening this morning and throughout the week. And dating is one of those areas where it's so fascinating because so many people are not happy with it. But if you can get it right or learn to get it right, it can be one of the best areas of life, as we all know.
It
So
is
thanks for
true.
having me. I'm excited to be here. Thank you.
I am honored that you accept my invitation.
Yep.
I always love the fact that you put yourself out there as the coach of dating and that you help women and all of that. But also, what I like the most about you, especially, is that you are very vulnerable to share your own stories.
Yes. Yep.
And I am one of those person that I feel like I put like too much out there. Like I
Yeah. 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 Well, I think people connect to that though, and I think that there's an art form between sharing quite too much and just enough to show, hey, you're a real person, I'm a real person. Everyone's been through things that are very painful in life. And I think if you can share how you navigated that and came through them, a lot of people get a lot out of that. So it takes a lot of, I think it's very brave to share, and I know you've shared a lot about your personal life.
I
And
do.
everyone, you know what? I think everyone is struggling. I mean, like at the end, right? We all die at the end. Life is tough.
It
And
is.
if you can look at why certain things don't work, you can have a better life.
Always have like long lasting relationships.
Yeah.
And that's why I created the podcast, because after my breakup with the father of my son, it becomes very hard for me to go in the dating pool and
Yeah.
say, wow, is this what it's like to be dating now?
Yes.
And I feel like it's great that you're doing this journey. And I'm so like, I feel like a lot of women that's going to be listening to
Yeah.
you right now is going to be so grateful to know that people like you exist and
Thank
can
you.
help them. I'm going to be talking just about sex. Yeah, I'm going to be talking about sex because sex creates life.
Yes, it
But
does. Yeah.
it's not just that, right?
Right. Right.
Like
Now,
sex.
it's interesting. I actually, I talk about my friends about this all the time. The sex has so much taboo around it, and if we're honest with men and women, it's the biggest motivating force that we're whether consciously or unconsciously thinking all day, and it's coming up, and it's supposed to be so not talked about. It's supposed to be. It's weird. I
It
think
is
we,
weird.
as society, we have a long way to go with having a healthier relationship with sex. I really do.
Mhm,
So,
mhm.
yeah, it creates a life. That's how we're here, and no one
Yeah.
wants to talk about it.
Yeah. And I feel like,
You
okay,
know,
so
You're
where
right.
it brings to me, like, for me, being intimate with somebody, it
Yeah,
doesn't mean that I want to go online with a bunch of strangers
yeah,
where there is scam, catfishing, ghosting, all of
yeah.
that
So,
going on.
yep,
And then I go on a date on Toronto after being in a relationship for so long, committed and so in love and so, and then
yes.
go on a first date with this guy and then he's sending me a dick picture or he
Yeah.
starts,
So let's talk about that. Okay.
let's do
So
it.
what a lot of women, the reason I help women specifically, I'm just quick backstory. You probably heard it a million times, but for no people that don't know me, I have a really close friend who's an extraordinary woman. And years ago, she was single and she was having a terrible time dating. She's beautiful and she's got a great personality. So she's literally like that ideal person that's got everything going on. And she was not getting asked out by men in real life for
Mm,
2 years.
wow.
And she's a wedding singer. So it's not like she's not going out. So men are not asking women out as much as they used to. And she was on the dating apps, similar to what you're saying. She'd go out with men, they would try and sleep with her too quickly or be inappropriate,
Mhm.
or they would be very boring on the opposite end of the spectrum where there's no spark,
Yeah.
right? So this is how I got into this. That's how I created my channel is called the RTP dating method, stands for reverse the paradigm, in case you're wondering what it stands for. And I essentially taught her, so all of your viewers can get a lot out of this, that men are not going to be approaching, and they're not approaching predominantly. There's a couple reasons, but it's mainly the dating apps. So
Mhm.
because men are on dating apps, they're missing that natural process that's been around forever, pretty much, where they would go up to you ladies, they would start a conversation, and that's how they would develop their social skills, right? So now men don't do it because they go home and click and swipe and click. And because they're missing that process, they don't know how to behave anymore properly. Now, I'm saying this generically. I mean,
A great point, Quentin, because
yeah,
okay, I talked about it like feminism, and there's so many levels of being feminism, and I
yeah,
feel like the ladies getting a little disconnected with
yeah,
this kind of feminism because okay, they create a Bumble, okay, and
right.
in Bumble, woman has to approach a man. I'm against that.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
against. I'm sorry, I don't agree with that. I
yeah,
feel like we already put it so much out there, and we give it so much, and we do so much that now we need to approach men to
yeah.
go out on a date. And okay, so I have that uh, that I don't uh, like it on a dating apps, but I agree with one thing, which one of the questions here that I have for you, because you actually do promote women to approach men in the real world.
Yes. And there's a lot of misconceptions about it. And I, by the way, I just want to preface, I feel women's pain on this. So I started my dating journey. I got rejected by most girls that I liked when I was young.
Oh
Most of them. And I hated it. I felt like
no.
I did. So I actually had a personal journey before I taught anybody for myself. I'm one of those guys that if I am single, I can approach women. So I've learned for a long time how to do that. And I
Okay,
noticed throughout the years,
Quentin, sorry, I
yeah,
have to interrupt you. I
yeah,
have to because
okay,
as a podcast hoster, I have been listening to a lot of podcasts. And sometimes as a listener, I have those questions pop up in my head that I
yeah,
wanted the host to ask the guest. So I'm gonna be asking you one of the questions that I'm like, okay, maybe it's like this is one of the questions that a follower
yes,
would ask you.
yeah.
What would be a good pickup line for a guy that is listening to the show
Hmm.
that would approach a woman in public? What would it
Yeah,
be?
just go up to him, go up to the lady, and just say, "Excuse me," get her attention. Say, "No, I just saw you. This is very random. I think you're absolutely gorgeous. I had to say hello." It's that simple. And then if she responds favorably, you start a conversation, And at the end of it, you talk for maybe like 5 minutes, and then there's no magic pickup line. It's just do it. Just walk
Mm.
up and start the interaction. You
But do you
know,
think like men don't do that often because there is this
no.
beta going on? Like there's more beta than the alpha male on the world now because of the woman say, "Oh, man is true this, man is true that." Like, what is the problem?
The problem is human beings will take the easy way out if they can. So because dating apps, like I said before, are available now, most men are on there. So if they pass a woman now in real life where they're attracted to her, they get that it's anxiety. And even when I'm single, if I approach a woman, I've done it many, many times. I still feel anxiety, and I've done it. I've done it, right? And it never goes away. It's sort of like taking a cold shower. It's always cold. So
Mm.
because men are on the apps, they're always going to take the easy way out. They're like, why talk to a woman? I disagree with this, but this is what they're thinking. Why talk to a woman when I can go home and click on an app,
Yeah.
right? It's because you don't have to put yourself out there. You don't have to feel uncomfortable. So that's mainly what's happening. And a lot of the women I help are in their all different ages, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. I've even helped a woman in her 70s because
Oh,
yeah, it's not the age. So many women think they're not beautiful enough anymore. Not true. They think that they're too old. Not true. It's just men as a whole in these dating apps, and it's going to get worse. It's going to
I
get
believe
worse.
so.
Yeah, and so what I teach is a lot of women believe that falsely that if they open a conversation with a man first that it's very unattractive. It's not true. Even as a guy that can like I can approach women. I even like it when women open a conversation with me, and I can even do it because it shows they're confident. It's never unattractive. And it doesn't mean that I'm not going to pursue her. It doesn't mean I'm more traditional. It doesn't mean I'm not going to pay for the dates. So that's a big misconception women have. And if women want to meet men and get off the apps, they've got to go out in real life and start opening what I call triple F conversations with men: fun, flirtatious, and feminine. You still can be a
Mm.
lady and open a conversation. It doesn't mean you're going into your masculine energy.
I feel like I
You
can
know?
see myself like because I don't date much to be honest, like because of the part of
Yeah.
I feel like a man just wants to get laid and they
And a
don't
lot of
like
them do. A
yeah
lot of them do. That's true. But
yeah
a lot, do want something more connected as well. But sorry, cut you.
which are gonna
Yeah.
want to like have some questions here for you related to that because I feel that you are so into your emotions as well, like you're very connected to your being.
Yes.
And I feel like you have this good balance going on. That's why I'm like so happy that you are in the show today.
Thank you.
um I like this kind of man, like they are able to talk about it. They are able to be like, hey, I was an asshole, I did this, I did that, or you know what, I had anxiety, or I play games, or and which brings to the next question as well after.
Yeah.
But okay, I'm getting sidetracked because it's so exciting for me.
Yeah. I'm excited too. This is good. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
great.
so I'm seeing myself because I'm not like dating so much, and I'm like, okay, so yeah, it is easy even for women to just go like left and right because we want to be chased,
Right.
and to see ourselves going towards like a handsome guy like you, and like,
Thank you, brother.
so I was like right there looking, and I cannot like if they go and be like, like
Yeah.
cannot like so it's better like to just like, hey, by the way, my name is Beatrice. What's your name?
Right. Right.
Oh, I'm
Quentin.
Quentin.
Yeah.
Oh,
Quentin.
Quentin, I just want to say that this color on you looks so great and like stand out your smile. And like,
That's awesome. That's it. Then you're in. You're flirting with him. That's perfect. That's
or just
perfect.
like, Quentin, I really didn't like beard in a guy, but I have to say this, the way that you do yours looks great on you.
See, what are you talking? After this, you have to start doing this to men. Thank you, by the way. You would crush it. You would absolutely crush it.
Good
And
to
listen,
flirt.
for all the women watching, okay? The worst thing that's going to happen is one of two things. The guy's going to have a girlfriend or be married, right? Which is
Mm,
not a rejection because that's just is what it is. So that's
yeah,
not right. And then and you make his day. You made my
yeah,
day, right?
yeah, yeah,
So it's a net positive and you practiced your social skills and you'll be more confident for the next guy. It's a
exactly.
win-win upward.
Another tip too, I
Yeah.
will give it to women is that, and then you tell me your perspective on that
Yeah.
as a male, okay? Let's
Sure.
pretend that we are like in a Starbucks, okay?
Right.
And I go there to get something to eat or a tea or something. And I look at this guy and he's so freaking handsome. I already know what I want because you're not gonna go blindly in the store and you don't know what you want. But
Right.
like, let's take this to another level. And I don't know what I want because now I see this guy and all that I want is to get his attention. So I go beside you and just like, you know what? Sorry, what's your name? It'd be like
I'll be
Quentin.
like Quentin. Quentin.
Quentin, oh, do you come here often? Because I'm not familiar with the menu. Like, what would be the best thing for they have here to eat?
Right. And I don't know, the panini, panini's
Well,
pretty good. Yeah.
depending, but like, what's the ingredients? Like, which kind of that you like? And then it would
Uh,
be like make him like,
right.
right?
Right.
Do you agree that's like a good?
It's good. I would say doing that is absolutely better than doing nothing. But I think women can be a lot more direct than you think you can. I would just go
Really?
right to, yep. I would just say, hey, you know what? I just saw like the beard one. I would respond better to that because now I know you're definitely hitting on me, right? Now
It's
there's no,
about him. It's about him.
right.
It's
Because
about
if
him.
you go up to a man and do the panini thing, most men still are
Mm.
not going to ask you out. They're still going to be oblivious to it. They're still not going to have the guts to just, I would come in hot and just be like, hey, saw you, thought you were really handsome. What's your name? It's simple. It's simple.
Oh, okay. I'm very like people that know me, they know that I'm very like upfront and I'm funny. I'm like people that really close to me know that I'm
Yeah.
very like goofy and I'm open to talk about and make like sex joke on all of that.
Right.
But I don't see myself approaching a guy. Literally, I blush, I get all warm, I get
Yep.
like
And guess what? Guess what? This is exactly how men feel too, by the way. I've not, like I said, I've done it. It is the price to pay if you want to have consistent dates. And you know what? That's why I have that, not to segue into it right now, I'll do it later, but that's in my course I teach. I teach social building exercises to warm women up to it because I know that it can seem daunting and scary and anxiety ridden.
Yeah.
So, and a thing, actually, I'll give it away right now for everybody. If you want, you know that it's the right thing to do is to open the conversations, but it's scary. A way to practice is throughout your day, start giving strangers, not even men, it could be other women, sincere compliments wherever you go. So if you're at the grocery store and you see a woman, like say an older woman with like a nice hairpin, say, hey, you know what? And you have to be sincere. It can't be
Yeah.
fake. Say, you know what? I think that looks really pretty on you.
I
You
actually do
got to get
that.
used to that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I actually
And
do
then,
that.
so do it all the time. You make everybody's day. And then the moment you see the handsome guy, it's very natural to give him also a sincere compliment. It becomes the easy.
It's not that easy though, because you feel that like, oh my God. And then that, you know?
And guess what? You can feel that or you can go home alone.
It's true. Or
You got
maybe
it, right?
I'm
I'm being
just
honest with you. So
swiping.
you've got it. That feeling, people think feel that, and it means retreat, go the other way. When you feel that anxiety, it means do it, do it, do it, because it's the price you pay. And this is why so many people are not happy dating because they're not willing to feel these emotions. And
Quentin,
a
we
lot
should
of people,
do,
but what you did at first, we just said, hey, excuse, the best thing you can say is excuse me, get the guy's attention and say, and then give him a sincere compliment. You can just say, hey, I saw you. I'm on my way out. I think you're handsome. I had to say hello.
or
What's
just,
It's not
I
too
don't
hard to
know.
do. You can
Hey,
do it.
excuse me. I was
Yes.
trying to look up on my contacts. I don't see your number here.
That would work too if the guy's got a sense of humor. That's funny. Listen, here's what most people do. Here's the man, here's the woman. They're attracted to each other and nothing. And nothing.
No,
And nothing. And
and
nothing. And
sucks.
nothing. No, and then all it takes is one person to go, "Hey, boom, that could be the guy." Come on.
It
So
is
I
true.
think and I like to teach I don't like the word being realistic, but a part of reality is you are going to feel awkward when you open a conversation, but you have a choice to make. You either feel those emotions and feel like an idiot and do it anyway. And by the way, you're probably not going to look like an idiot. Or you go home and you wonder what if over and over again forever. I know which one I would choose.
Yeah.
It's
Tell
up
me.
to you. Not everyone can get their head around it. But what I do want to tell women is that men love it. It's not unattractive. It doesn't mean he's going to view you as desperate. That's all not true.
Needy. Oh, she's so
No,
needy. She
that is
must
a
be
total
desperate.
myth. If that the only thing people get out of having me on here is that is a total myth. That's not true. I've experienced it. Again, as a guy that can approach women. I love it. It's great. When they make it makes my job easier. I love it.
Really?
Yeah, it's great.
Okay. So you really encourage women to go out there and just kind of like try to
Yes.
meet in the real world
Yeah,
and to just go straight for it, no
yes.
shame.
Because no, because men are not asking women out like they used to. It's just a
Okay.
fact. They're not. It's a failed strategy now. If a guy asked you out in real life, consider it a bonus, like seeing a shooting star. You know, you can't count on it.
Oh, I had it like the other day at work in my car, phone number with his name because it's like the neighbor of like the person that I was going to visit. And I park always my car in this street in Toronto because you have to pay parking, whatever. So I have this
Yeah,
free street parking. And he see me always there and I compliment him. I say hello. Hi. I'm a very social butterfly.
yeah, I
And
could
when
tell.
I and then when I get out of work, I see a phone number, like a note, like hook it up. I'm like, and then it was like, oh, my name is blah blah blah. I think I like your personality. My phone number is blah blah blah. But I was not into the guy,
Okay,
which sometimes I feel like when a girl is very beautiful and friendly, can guys can think like, oh, she's into me, you
that's
know?
true. A lot of men do misinterpret that. Definitely.
Yeah. So do you think that is still quality men out there in the dating apps?
Great question. Yes, but it's very, very rare. So I don't like to say anything black and white. Most of the
Mhm.
guys are, it would be better for most women to mainly not use the apps, to mainly go out in, like I'm saying, in real life, because you could see what the guy looks like. You could tell in like 2 seconds, well, not 2 seconds, like 2 minutes, if the
Mhm.
guy can hold a conversation or not, right? Have you ever gone on a date with a guy from an app? You got all dressed up, you go out, and then he can't even talk.
Absolutely.
Right, wasted time.
Absolutely.
So, but I don't want to say you can't meet a great guy in a dating app. You can, but the odds are very low, and you'd have a lot more success as a woman just going out in real life and talking to people
Hmm.
consistently.
Yeah. And I feel like also I know a lot of people love that. I don't because I have like a screening type of like
Yeah,
what I do. I ask, hey, do you want to get in a phone call?
right.
Do you want to, after that, we talk? I see how the conversation goes. If I
Yeah,
have to make too much effort to make the guy talk, I already know it won't work with me
yep,
because
yes, I agree.
I like to talk. I'm like,
Totally agree. If a
talk
guy
to me.
can't, yes, if a man can't pretty quickly get on a phone call or a video chat with you, red flag. Definitely.
Right.
Yeah,
And
because the dates like it's weird behavior.
I
Absolutely.
I appreciate that you saying that. Can you say that
Absolutely.
out
Yeah.
loud again for the ladies
Yeah.
and
So
for the guys?
if you do end up matching with a guy on a dating app and you want to kind of pre-screen him before the date and see what his energy is like, what his voice sounds like, and say, hey, I'd love that maybe a 10-minute phone call midweek or whatever. If the guy can't do that, it's weird. It's not a big deal. I've had
I
yeah,
I'm
you've
so
got it's not
glad.
a big deal. So
So
yeah.
glad that you said
You're
that.
spot on with that. Yeah.
Yeah, so I do that, and and then I like the talking and like that, but because I've been catfish
Yep.
too many times, and I am so sad to say that, but I thought that would be just women doing that with all filters, makeup, and all
No,
that, but
and that's
men
why
do
I
that too.
again why I teach go out in real life as a woman and talk to men, open the conversation because you can never get catfished. You can see the guy. He's right
Yeah,
there.
yeah. And then I invited them to do like a video chat and say, oh, hey, I like our conversation. I think we have like a great back and forth here, but I would
Yep.
love to see you like on a video, just to see each other like that, and make sure that
Absolutely.
we like each other even
Yes.
better, right?
Yep. Yep. There's nothing wrong with that. A normal, healthy man, confident man should have no problem doing it. Zero
Amazing.
problem. Yeah.
Amazing. Ladies, listen to
Yeah. Come
this.
on. Yeah. But listen again, if we go to the root problem here, most of the men are on the dating apps are weird. Most of them are not great. Again, can you find a great guy? Yes, they're on there, but they're so rare. You're wasting your time most of the time. Just go out in real life, pay men sincere compliments. I know it feels scary, but if you can get over that, you can meet more men in 2 weeks than you probably have gone out with in 2 years, if you do what I'm saying.
Hmm. I like that. I like that you said,
Literally.
yeah, I love that. So we know now that men do catfishing. And I want to ask you, what do you think why they do that? Why do you think men would take like a freaking fake picture from another
Oh.
guy, another dude, and
Mhm.
then he's gonna introduce himself and show up in a date with a girl, and you're gonna be like, dude, you
So
catfish.
I'll say this. So we have, I don't know the exact statistic. I'm not a psychologist. In another life, I almost went that direction. So I read a lot, and but there's a lot of people walking around with a lot of personality disorders, and there's a lot of people that are partially psychotic in our society right now. That so when you get really weird behavior that
Mm-hmm.
just makes no sense, sort of, you might be
Mm-hmm.
running into a person, in my opinion, that might be like that. You know, um, weird is weird, you know?
uh Give like awareness for the ladies, because a
Yeah.
lot of girls think, oh, men are very straightforward. They don't play games, they know what they want. And I think that's BS. I think men do play games.
Yeah.
And one of the examples I wanted to use is one that you post on your TikTok. I think it's even on your Instagram as well, that you said that you use that personally. The strategy was stop talking, texting to the girl to see if
Mhm.
she's gonna chase you or get back to you, kind of thing. There that do play games.
Yeah, I think on some level, look, every men and women, when you like someone, you're trying to do everything in your favor to keep that person liking you, right? And whether you call it a game or not, or being confident or not, we're all really talking about the same things. Now, I think it becomes negative when whether it's the woman or the man is like trying to purposely make the other person feel bad in an attempt to
Mm,
create attraction. I think that's
mm-hmm,
very unhealthy.
mm-hmm.
So I don't think I'm fully answering your question, but yeah, some
No,
men
because
play
I wanna
games.
clarify the fact
Yeah,
that men do play games to get the attention of the girl. If she
some do.
can, if she's the girl like that, she's like, oh, you know what? He's a guy. He should be texting me and he should be chasing me. Like in 2023, men do want to feel desire. Men do want
Yeah.
to feel chased too,
Yes, they do. Absolutely. Including
right?
myself. Yeah. So yeah, some men play games, some men will pull back. Um, it's this, I'll say this. There's a whole nother paradigm I think is better than this whole thing, which is date people where it's very easy that you could tell they like you and you like them. If you do not have that dynamic and it's easy, move on to someone better. Because if you're
Mhm.
already starting to think, oh, are they doing this because of this? You are already screwed. It's already over and you don't even
Mhm.
realize it. There are
Mhm.
billions of human beings out there. You want to date someone where it's pretty effortless. The whole like work on it, work on it. I get that life has its challenges, people die, things change, but in the beginning, it should be pretty damn easy. So I would say instead of
Agree.
even wondering, is he playing games with me? It's just date a guy where you know, okay, he's into me. I'm into him. When we meet up, it's easy to meet up and go on a date. We have a fun time. Redo it, redo it. That's it.
And it's
We
exciting because
overcomplicate it.
both wants excitement. Both wants to be with people that is
Yes.
exciting. Like I want to be with a man that excites me, and in return, I excite him back. I think it's like a exchange of energy. You know,
And
you put into
yeah,
it.
and I'll say this, if he's not into, I say this all the time on my channel, if he's not into you, you've got to make your motto be, then you're not into him. That's simple. I used to be attracted, when I was younger, I used to be attracted to women that were very hard to get. It almost make me want them more. And I hit a point, something happened to me where I got so turned off by that behavior that I only started dating women where I knew it was like
Maturity.
very equal. Yeah, it was just something clicked in me. So when I noticed a woman, if I was into her, I thought she was pretty interesting and cool, but she wasn't quite as into me, immediately my attraction started plummeting now. And that's how everyone watching needs to be. So if you're dating a guy and you're showing up and you notice he's just too hard, it's too hard. Let him go. Get another guy. Just move on.
Absolutely.
People have to be quicker to move on,
Yeah. And I
especially in the
agree.
beginning.
And I'm so happy that you say that. And I think we need to repeat that 1,000 times until
Yeah.
people really get that stuck in their brain, because I have so many girlfriends that they have they're heartbreaking because they're
Yeah.
being like 2 weeks dating a guy and then he ghosting her and then she, oh my god, what did you do?
So the mistake your friends are making, okay, and most people make this mistake is because they don't know how to go out there and meet more people quickly, right? Now, if your girlfriend knew she could go out and meet 10 other men in about 10 days, 15 days, she wouldn't be so heartbroken,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
It's because that guy was probably rare and far few between, right? Maybe she was very attracted to him, and because as a woman, she's probably waiting for men to approach, they never do. So it's almost like, oh my gosh, I got to hold on to this guy. But if you ladies can just go out there and start saying hello to men and just say you think they're handsome, you'll have infinite dates. You don't need to
Absolutely.
get stuck with, you know?
Yeah, the rejection of one guy that didn't.
Yeah.
As a man, no, you kind of answered that question right there.
These are great questions, by the way.
Oh,
Love the
thank you.
questions.
Thank
Yeah.
you. How to stand out from the other ladies in an online dating app if they choose to be on a dating apps, because I think this is an important question, and if you can use some like
Yeah.
feedback as a man and your experience with your course as well. I
Yeah.
feel like we go out there and we put like, I'm interested in climb mountain, cheers.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna be brutally honest with the dating apps. Men are and I'm saying this with kindness, okay? I'm on your team, the ladies team here. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. The men were visual first. You got to have the photos great. You have to present your best self. Or men don't even read the biographies. They don't read the questions. If they get to that first photo, they don't feel an electric attraction to you. They're not even going to read everything else. So unfortunately, that's sad. I wish it wasn't that way, but for men, you've got to get the photos. It's true. I'm trying to give honest information, you know. So you could have invented a rocket ship, right? And if the guy's not impressed by your photos, he's not ever going to read that.
I
It's
love
sad.
that.
It's so sad. I
No,
know
it is
it's sad,
not.
but
It
it's
is
but it's
not.
true.
You
And
got a good point. And I'm gonna say too, for the latest perspective, is that I don't read bio of the guys.
see, there you go.
I just go look what he looks like. Am
Yep.
I able to spend the rest of my life, if he become my future partner in crime, with
Yep.
this guy, can I visualize what he's gonna look like as an old man by my side?
There you go.
And
I appreciate
then
the honesty. Yeah.
it is honest, guys. I'm sorry. I don't read because people can say so many different things in a freaking paragraph and beautiful using AIs to describe you as a prince charm and whatever. But when I meet you in person, maybe your values, your morals not gonna fit with mine.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Because I'm glad you said that because human beings, you can look at someone and tell in a second if you're going to be attracted or not. Right. But it takes time to get to know someone's personality.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So I would say for the ladies, no matter who you are, right, there's going to be, this is a really beautiful thing I also teach. Everyone has vulnerabilities and feels insecure, sometimes how they look, including myself. Everyone has their things where they're like, am I good enough for this? There are men that will find you to be the most attractive woman ever, exactly how you are. And just like flavors of ice cream, I use that as an analogy all the time. So many people have chocolate chip mint, right? I hate that flavor. I think it's
hate it.
disgusting. I hate it too. Good. All right. I love chocolate chip cookie dough and a lot of cookie dough. It's my
Do you ever try ramen raisin?
no.
I love
I'll have
that
to try that.
flavor. It makes me remember
Good.
back home in Brazil because I used to have like ramen raisin was my mom's favorite.
Yeah.
So I always gonna get like ramen raisin. Another flavor of mine was like strawberry with the big chunks of strawberries
I
on
love
them.
strawberry. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, we have to, that's awesome. We have to all think of ourselves like ice cream with different toppings. Some people are going to be into your flavor, some are not. Don't take it personal. So
Yeah.
with the photos, just when I say have the right photos, it doesn't mean don't have a profile because you don't feel beautiful enough. It just means make sure that they're the best version photos of you that you can get. That's what I mean by that.
Absolutely. I agree with
You know?
that. In a little note though, I didn't put it like on my profile because I didn't say anything about me. I just say future husband, please save me from all the dick pictures that I don't want to anymore receive it.
That's funny. So can I give you a comment on that though?
Sure.
So because you're saying future, and I get it's funny. It
It
is
is
funny.
funny.
It's funny. But you're telling men you immediately are looking for a guy that's going to be a husband. It's going to scare a lot of men.
And I'm okay with that. And I'm
You are
okay
okay.
to
Okay.
scare I'm 100% okay with that because
Okay.
um I want a man to be confident enough to know, you know what, if she is looking for a husband type of man, I can be that kind of guy. And
Okay.
that's what I'm
That's
looking
good.
for. And that's
And
what
keep
I'm
it
committed to it.
good. And
Um,
keep it.
not that I want to get married, but I thought it was like a funny pickup line
It
kind of
is funny.
thing, you
It
know.
is funny. It is. And I do not understand what's up with guys sending those types of photos. It's
Neither
like
do I. Neither do I.
it never ends well.
No, and I feel like it's so inappropriate because guess what? As much as it is for you guys to be excited to uncover a woman body and take all the layers of the clothing that we have and to visualize all of that in front of you, for woman is the same thing. We
Yeah.
like to undress you and to feel your muscles and know the hairy chest or not that you have, or
Right.
then discover that part of your body and not to be shown graphically in a picture like that as if it is the only thing that you can offer.
Yes.
You
Totally.
know?
Yeah. I hate this. I can say this, I guess, because I'm a guy, but most men are not great. Most. And most are average at best, and average is not great either.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like women, you ladies need to be more picky. You've got to let these guys go. Like if you don't get the
Okay,
treatment you like, just let them go.
I like that.
Move
Okay, let's talk
on.
about picky.
Come on. Okay. Let's talk about it. Tell me
Love
what you
that.
think. I'll tell you what I think on
I
that.
love that because I have a guy friends as
Yeah.
well, and they tell me that I'm super picky, that I'm gonna
Good.
be like alone and single, and I'm not gonna be end up with the guy of my dreams, whatever. I disagree.
Hmm.
Like you said, there's most men out there, they don't have the values that I have,
Yeah.
which is very family orientated. I work hard for provider for my family. I want a man that is going to be consistent and very family orientated. And I feel like there is less and less those values losing out there.
Yeah.
I'm
Yep.
also like a traditional woman. So dating for me on my 20s was never about going to coffee shops. And for you that don't know me, I don't like coffee. I really don't. I don't like the bitter taste that left in
Yeah.
your mouth.
Yeah.
I sometimes would drink a coffee when I feel like, oh my gosh, I'm tired, I didn't have enough sleep. Then for me, it's kind of cope mechanisms of like I have to wake up. For me, going on a date with somebody that I like is
Yeah.
exciting.
Yes, it is.
It's like, oh my God, I have so much to discover about this guy. I like his cute little cheeks
Right.
and the way that he smiles. Like, oh, it makes me so happy inside to see him and hear his voice, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
What would you suggest for girls like me, giving also the tips on the same hand for men that want
Yeah.
to take a girl like me that do not enjoy coffee at
Coffee.
all or
Yeah.
going the freaking cold for a walk for the
Just go.
first date?
Yeah. So I think the first date is the purpose of a first date is to make it very easy. You should be able to talk very clearly and get to, so any place that you can do that, so if you did like coffee, coffee dates actually are great, I think. But if you don't like coffee, just go for a drink. If you don't drink, you could still go to a place and order a seltzer or a soda or something where you can just sit down and talk. I think is very good for a first date because it's a win-win for both of you. If it
Mm-hmm.
goes great, then you're going to go on another date eventually. If it goes bad, you can both leave.
I like
You
the
know,
drink dates. I like the drink dates, the
yeah.
lounging,
And
the
and
glass
what
of wine or
and what
something.
yeah, and what I would suggest to you as well is some places where you can get coffee are actually pretty nice. Just get something else. Just get a seltzer or a tea or something if you like.
You know what? I really don't like the just fast pace where you can see everybody
Okay.
come in, come out,
Okay.
a lot of
Then go for a
noise.
drink.
Yeah, I prefer more the drink because I feel like the scenario is like more a lounging. You can have like a more calm pace. You
Yeah, then
can
then go for a
talk.
drink.
Yeah. I think it's also sexier than just,
Yeah.
like you can
Yeah.
dress up a little bit more
And
and
what I really love about you? You know yourself very well. So what's good is again
thank
the
you.
flavor of ice creams, right? So you're going to want a guy that responds to that very easily, which is
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
And there's plenty of men that would
Yeah.
about this. You should be picky though, because remember there are billions of human beings on planet Earth. Now, here's the issue with when people say you're too picky, it means that they don't know that how easy it is with the right strategies to go out there and meet new people very quickly. So if you only meet one new person every year, then I get why you think you should be picky. I'm not picky, excuse me, because you're in scarcity with thinking about it,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So the women that I teach my RTP dating method to, they can afford to be picky because they're getting so many dates so quickly.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a numbers game. But if you're
Yeah.
waiting and waiting and waiting, and you're on dating apps meeting the guys sending those pictures that then it feels like, oh my gosh, like this guy's kind of the right guy, but not really.
I
Then you
agree.
feel more inclined out of fear to stay with him, which is a big mistake. I
Hmm.
understand it, but it's a big mistake.
I agree. There's a lot of women
You know?
that settle because of the fear of being alone, the fear of, just to go back as well on the dating pool and try to find somebody that is so the first guy that they met and they think that, okay, he has this kind of this, but
Yes.
you know what I mean?
So, yeah. So I know someone that has no idea what they're doing dating if they don't think it's fun. So that's the biggest sign to me. And most people don't think it's fun. I think dating is so much fun because you either go on a great date or you have a great story. The end,
Oh, I
right?
have so many stories for you.
Right? And then if you know how to go out there though, you've got it. But what I'm trying to say over and over again, the two main ways women meet men does not work really anymore fully. Men don't approach dating apps. You're not meeting great men. So where does that leave you as a woman? In a not a great spot, not a powerful position. So what I teach is go out, open conversations with men consistently, get off the dating apps or use them very minimally and open conversations with men and you'll get more dates. It's very simple and it's
So now I wanted to really just take the opportunity to let the people, all the amazing followers that I have here, to go on Instagram and following you. And I want to give you the floor to really talk about your RTP dating method.
awesome. Thank
Um,
you.
yeah. So where people can find you if they want
Sure. So I'm mostly active on social media on TikTok,
to.
honestly. So RTP Dating Method on there, but I am also on I just started an Instagram account not that long ago. So it'd be great if people, if you would like to follow me, check. I post the same material to both of them. So if you want to follow me on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube, and yes, I have a video. Can I talk about that for a second?
Absolutely, go for it.
So as I've been mentioning, so what I teach is called something I created, the RTP dating method. It stands for reverse the paradigm. And it's 132 video lessons. It's professionally filmed. It's my life's work in dating in one spot. And what you learn in the course is, which I went over, why men don't approach. Everyone kind of gets that now with the dating apps and everything. But I teach you step by step where to go out in real life, daytime locations, nighttime locations, how often I think you should be going out. I teach you how to open triple F conversations. Even as Beatrice is saying here, like, it's scary. I get it. So in the course, that's a big part of the course is overcoming those obstacles. And again, I have women in their 50s, 40s, 30s, 70s. I'm proud of that, by the way, because so many women think like after their 30s or 40s, it's over. It's totally a myth. That's not true
Yeah, I
at
agree.
all. You know, I teach how to have a great first, second, third date. As we talked about, I do have a section on the dating apps. You don't have to use them to have, I always say, success with the program. But I teach how to flush out the guys that waste your time on the apps. Like you match with them, they never ask you on a date. So I cover everything up to going out in real life, consistently getting dates. So, and what most women will say that have taken the course is that they have gone, this is my favorite thing I hear. They have hated dating their entire life. And they
Mhm.
took the course. It was like a last ditch effort. And now they feel more confident in their social skills. They feel confident about how to talk to men. Because after you do it the first time, you realize it's not a big deal.
Yeah,
You really do. You go, okay, I'm still alive. That actually was kind of fun. And then you get better at it and better at it. And all of a sudden, you see the possibilities of how many men you can meet when you learn the techniques in
absolutely.
the course. So they say that they finally love dating and how fast it works. I have one woman who was widowed, 55 years old. She came back out to the dating world, hated it, right? Dating apps. Now she's 55. Men are not approaching her. She found me, I think on TikTok, saw one of my free presentations. She took the course a month and a week later. She's now with this amazing guy. And she opened the conversation with him. And she's
Absolutely.
like, yeah, it's awesome. So if you want to, I don't know if you can post the link, but it's the www.rtpdatingmethod.com.
I'll post the
That's
link.
awesome. And once you have access to the program forever, and it works. It just works. So if you are not getting approached, which is most women, and you
Mhm.
hate dating apps, most women, take my course. It will change your life very quickly, too.
Absolutely.
Very
Absolutely.
quickly. You
Amazing,
said,
Quentin. I'm so
yeah,
happy. This was so wonderful. I'm so grateful
I'm
that you accepted.
I'm honored. I'd love to come back one day. You're an
For
amazing
sure.
host. Love your show, and you're talking. I think you're spreading a lot of light into the world in an area that's kind of pushed off and not talked about
Yeah.
enough. You
I
know?
feel because we are too trapped. I think the fast-paced modern world become
Yes.
like that technology, like a few years ago, cell phone, like like pressing the button like this, send a message to somebody. It was not existent.
Correct.
Guys actually have to write you a letter, the post mail man will deliver to you,
Yeah.
and then you're gonna be reading this letter that the guy met you in X party and then he likes you and he would love to court you. And it was so completely different story.
And now we have, as I'm sure you know, artificial intelligence coming out that is out. It's going to get even less human because we can have the robots send the love letters now. And the scary thing is, how can you even tell it's real anymore? That's why real life is the best.
That's why I suggest also, really, I do suggest that for all of you that is listening to this, is to create a community around you. And that's what I'm doing the
Yeah.
podcast, because I really wanted to connect to real people. And
Yeah.
Quentin, I really love the fact that you are so real and you talk about your flaws, your winners. I encourage you to really keep doing that,
Thank you.
because at the end of the day, you are here as a human being,
Yes.
not a human things, and we collected too much things. I look in my room, like in my space, I'm like, oh my god, I don't need this. I never use this, like
And
the
I so
clutter.
appreciate you saying, I could say the exact same about you. I feel you're one of those people that gives energy,
Oh,
which is amazing.
Thank you.
So you should be picky. You're going to end up with a great guy. And I'll say this too. I don't share this often, very rarely I'll say this, but when I was younger, I can't go into any names, but there was a woman in my family where a man really mistreated her badly. And I hated seeing that. If I, to this day, when I think of some of the things, it makes me very angry.
Mm,
And I am not only passionate about women getting more dates, which is important, but dates with a great guy. I've dated women in the past where this is on my personal journey as a man, where that I was stressed out around them all the time, right? We broke up. I dated a different woman. I'm acting the same to essentially I'm very comfortable being myself. Obviously there's differences in,
mhm,
the memories you make, but I can be myself pretty much anywhere. And the
mhm.
next woman, all of a sudden, there's no stress ever, really. And it's just because it's a different human I'm interacting with. So what I would suggest is if you're dating men and it's going wrong pretty quick, just it's best to just not try and fight your way through that. Just get a different person where it's pretty effortless from the beginning. Because a great person will keep being a great person. And a dangerous, abusive person, they actually get worse with time,
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely. I
yeah.
appreciate that. Thank you so
Yeah.
much,
You're welcome.
Quentin.
Thanks for having me on here.
Amazing, guys. That was it for today's show. I hope you really enjoy and felt this amazing exchange that Quentin and I had, and that you can go. I really want you to go right now. Stop whatever you're doing. Go there, check his website, and find out the course, because I wanted to improve your dating life, your dating skills, and I want you to find happiness. Another thing that I also want you to do is to take this episode really deep into your life, because of the information that Quentin shared and I share with you has so much value. Listen to this. The world will become a more robotic, a more disconnecting, people. So take it that deep and try to really connect with the being and not with just the things in life. We are here to be connected with each other. I think the purpose is that. And we've completely forgetting the kindness, the empathy, the compassion to another person. I'm going to leave you with this amazing quote called "The Joy of Intimacy is the Reward of Commitments" by Harris. And please do think about that when you go out there. Don't settle for just a guy or any situation.
Right.
Go right now and go check it out, Quentin, on his TikTok and Instagram. I'll be back next week with more of a Sex in Toronto City for you, my sexy people. Bye for now.